Hello, greetings everybody. Carrie Burchell here with Shine Like a North Star. I am a leadership development coach and consultant, and today we're going to be talking about that sense you might be experiencing of being super busy and, well, getting nowhere. So let's talk about whether or not you fall into that category of being super busy and getting nowhere. So, first of all, pause with me just for a moment of reflection. Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling like a duck underwater where your legs and webbing is going like crazy and the duck is above the water looking peaceful? But you're fighting the Sunday night blues because you're this duck paddling like crazy, getting nowhere? Are you waking up in the middle of the night thinking about work because you're paddling like a duck, getting nowhere? Right. I wonder if you might be experiencing that. The leaders that I coach really talk about this dilemma of being just so busy and feeling like they're getting nowhere, right? And so what does that create? A sense of overwhelm. I was talking with a leader this morning who just said, yesterday, I thought about quitting. Like just that feeling of being so busy and you can't get anywhere. So today's YouTube Live is going to help us think through strategies to kind of mitigate that problem. So first things first, if you're super busy and feeling like you're getting nowhere, you no doubt are caught in this spin, right? You're busy and getting nowhere. Just your spin's probably at the top here. Just, get me out of this spin. So the first thing that you need to recognize is that you're in the spin. So if you've answered those questions affirmatively, I'm busy, I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm all of these things, then that's where you land. You're busy and you're stressed. You're in the spin. Now, the win that we want to get you to, with some strategies that we're talking about today, is to the bottom of your spin so that you can really start thinking about solutions that mitigate your busy, not getting anywhere feeling. So the neat thing about the spin is you cannot pull out of the spin alone. I've never been able to do it, and I coach people on this. Yesterday I was doing a WebEx with a group of internal coaches in a company that I serve, and you could see the leaders agreeing, like, yeah, I've tried to pull myself out of the spin too, and I'm a trained coach. I can't do it either. So you need to have an accountability partner. Could be a friend, but it's not your typical friendly chit-chat. This is someone who's going to hold your feet to the fire to pull out of your spin. And so they're the person that you say, like, gosh, this week I need to do ABC. I need to get XYZ done, XYZ and done. They're the people that hold you accountable. So it's more than the friendly chit-chat, the unwind about work, the complain, the processing, all the things we do with our friends. You need an accountability partner. Now, part of that role with the accountability partner is they help you focus on this very frustrating box of stuff that you control. That's the difficulty in our busyness, is we don't spend very much time here. We do spend more time here in this next layer of stuff that we can influence potentially. Yeah, okay, I mean, that could be valuable to spend time there. What we often do is we spend a lot of time in this huge box of stuff out of our control. So I would love to help you slow down to get in this box of control. Your accountability partner's job is to help you slow down and get in that box. And the real thing that you need to recognize if you're feeling like you're super busy and getting nowhere is this concept of activity bias. Give me a yes if you've heard of that in the comments if you're watching this live or on replay. Have you ever heard of activity bias? Relatively new concept to me, definitely something that I resonate with. I learned about activity bias a while ago, but it resonated with me recently because my in-laws are in town visiting for 5.5 weeks. Now, thankfully, I like them, still like them. We're on week 5. What I realized, though, is that, of course, I'm playing hooky with them a little bit. I'm chatting with them during the day. We sit down and have lunch together. When do I ever sit down and have lunch together? Never, because I have activity bias, which is the belief that activity is more valuable than inactivity. If I sit down for a lunch with my in-laws, I'm being inactive. Right? Crisis. So it dawned on me, this whole concept of activity bias, and that I had fallen into the trap of it recently because I realized my business is still growing. My business ventures are still happening. I've done a great job, I think anyways, you can tell me, but editing my website, which has been on my list for forever. I just haven't got to because I've been so busy getting nowhere. And now my in-laws are in town and I'm spending all of this leisure time chilling. Tomorrow I'm even taking the day off. We're going to drive up to Fredericksburg in Texas. I don't know if you know where that is. Never been. Also something that's been on my list, but I've been too busy to go do. So what's happened as I've slowed down and let myself have these periods of inactivity? Nothing. The company's still growing. I'm still getting more clients. Things are good. And oh, look, I'm managing my activity bias more by letting myself have moments of inactivity. And the fact is, by doing that, I slow down, which helps me go fast in the long run. It helps me think about, what do I have control over? And really zero in on that. In these moments of inactivity, your brain gets the little pause to go, oh yeah, that's what I need to work on. So if you are feeling like you're busy and getting nowhere, you're probably suffering from activity bias. It is an unconscious thing until it becomes conscious. So let me be the voice of consciousness for you. And you're probably feeling some dissatisfaction with work, maybe not as successful or confident as you could be because you're not getting everything done that you want to get done, right? That's the bias part, that activity is better. Slowing down to go fast is where the magic is. So what does it look like if you actually get an accountability partner? Maybe you contract with me as a coach. Maybe you slow down to think about, okay, when I map out what I'm going to do this week, what's the stuff in my control? What happens if you actually give yourself the space to think through that stuff? Manage your activity bias. You guessed it, you're just going to be happier. Things are going to feel lighter. You're going to wake up less often in the middle of the night thinking about work. Hopefully the Sunday night blues are not going to be so intense. And the real truth is, when we manage our activity bias, we have more success. We're less of the duck underwater, looking so serene up top, but feeling completely stressed inside. You have more confidence, and your work will last. And more importantly, you're going to last because you're finding solutions that are sustainable. You're not burning out. Your turnover is less with the team. Just manage the activity with your team, with yourself. And you're going to find yourself feeling fabulous about work again. That's the truth. Thank goodness my in-laws came to visit, because it has me pulling back and thinking, what is the right work? I've had this book for a couple of years that I've wanted to write. I've collected the data. I've coded 2/3 of the data. I'm ready to hunker down and do this book. Oh no, I've been too busy. If I can spend an hour or two with my in-laws a day on average, like tomorrow the whole day, I can spend time writing that book. So I'm telling you to hold me accountable to write the book, right? That's my activity bias sneaking in. I'd love you to connect with me and tell me what I can do to help hold you accountable, because I'm now putting the charge out there. You can help hold me accountable by asking about that book and when it's going to come out. Some neat stuff in there around leadership. Love to hear what you're going to do to manage your activity bias. Get out of that busy and get nowhere space and really feel yourself thriving and being successful and feeling lighter at work. And the magic is you'll actually get more done. Carrie Burchell, let's connect. Facebook, Instagram, my website, YouTube, million channels. I'd love to hear about what's keeping you so busy.